Hello. My church is doing a challenge where the campaign is called Spread Love, Not Fear. And it's all about being open and about opening conversations about what we believe as Christians and also talking with other people about what they believe. In the context of this, the challenge this week was to present the gospel in like a nutshell or whatnot. But I kind of wanted to approach it from also a conversational aspect to all the friends and family that I have. It ranges from so many different types of people. So I kind of wanted to frame this conversation in a way where I talk about my college experience, what I use to present the gospel, and the good and the bad side of it. So, when I was in college, I was part of a ministry called KCCC, and we would go around the campus every week and talk to strangers and present the gospel to them. On the one hand, I was like, yes, being a good Christian. On the other hand, I'm like, I hate how I feel like a used car salesman. But the thing that changed my attitude towards this was when I didn't have to pull out a track, but really I was having a conversation with people. So there were two sides to this. On the one hand, I had to really, truly and deeply understand what I was saying and know that I wasn't just parroting back a message. And on the other hand, I did need something to help frame my conversation. So like if a friend just came up to me and said like, what do you as a Christian, what do you really believe? I would use the four spiritual laws. I would say that, okay, so do you believe in gravity? And like, yes, like it drops. So that's like the law of gravity. There are physical laws that govern our universe. I believe that there are also laws that govern our relationship with God. And one of the first things that we need to know about our relationship with God is that He created us and He has a plan for us. Okay, that's like the first thing. The second thing is, though, we don't really know God. We're separated from Him because we have sinned. And that can be an attitude of just active, like, I hate you, F you, or an attitude of, I don't care, I'm just gonna live my life. Okay, so that is sin. And with that turning away, then you can't know God personally. You can't be connected to Him. The third law about our relationship with God is that Jesus is the only way for you to bridge your sin gap from God. So like if you have a gap, like the only bridge is Jesus. And you have to accept Him and acknowledge Him as your King, or just acknowledge Him and say that, yes, I do believe that I have sinned and that I need Jesus in order to know God. Okay? And then the thing is, like, you can know all this in your head, but you really have to let God into your heart. And the way that that turns your life around is that you are no longer at the center of your life, but you're allowing God to be the center of your life and direct you. So that's how I would tell a friend what I believe. And that's how I did conversation with people. So in essence, the gospel tract, when I really looked at the four spiritual laws and understood it deeply and memorized it and let it form me and continued to chew on it, it was such a deep thing that I could bring into conversation with other people and I would know what I was saying. It was only a bad thing when I just, again, like was reading lines out of a script without knowing what I was saying. So that's what I believe as a Christian, that God loves you and has a plan for you. You're broken and you're sinful and you rebel, whether you actually actively hate God or you don't care about God at all. The only way you can really know God is by interacting with the person, the historical and real person of Jesus Christ. And you can't just know these things intellectually. You actually need to make a conscious decision and open your heart to God. That is the gospel in a nutshell. And I remember one time I presented this to someone at UCSD and they totally just said like, I think this is like dumb, and I don't think you can just like summarize it into 4 laws, like a relationship like that. And she walked away. And I was like, what she said is true. And it made me think, and it made me really wonder again, like, why did I just do that? Why did I put myself in the situation of getting humiliated? But really, what I came to know is that I just need to be faithful / just honest in honest and straight to the point, knowing what I believe, but also knowing that, yes, your relationship and a life with God is exactly that, a life with God, not just something that you can put in like a few pages and like say like, oh, do you believe in Jesus now? It's like, it goes so much deeper than that. And if I were to meet that girl right now, again, I would tell that girl, you are right. You can't necessarily just pack it into that, but it is a starting point of a conversation if you're willing to have it with me. So yeah, like, know what you're saying, or if I could go back to me, I would just say that this is what I believe, and it is really deep, and it is a conversation of a lifetime. And I hope that you can engage with me on each of these points, because if what's at stake is your life and eternity and what happens after death and just the nature again of your reality, then this is a conversation worth having. And it's not about being right, but it is about seeking truth. So yes, that was my experience using the 4 spiritual laws, how it changed me, the good and the bad. But in the end, if it is truth and reality, then it is a conversation worth having. Bye.